T-Mobile Arena, following it up with what we had in April with Gervonta Davis defeating Ryan Garcia, here with Spence Crawford. And we look forward to our next big matchup end of September with Canelo and Jermell Charlo. But right now I want to bring up a man who's certainly a courageous champion and still one of the best in the world. It takes two to tango, and both these guys went ahead and laid it all on the line. The man next to my right is a reason why boxing is so unbelievable. Ladies and gentlemen, I turn it over to Errol Spence Jr. here to give opening comments. Errol, he's joined by his trainer, Derek James.
Hello, how's it going? A little off night. The better man won tonight. Not here to make any excuses. Definitely did the same. My time was off, and I couldn't capitalize on a couple of things, and his time was a lot better than mine tonight.
Turn it over to the media for questions for Errol Spence Jr. Raise your hand and wait until you get the microphone.
Right back there.
Hey, Errol. Andreas here from the Sporting News. Errol, how was the weight cut for this fight? And I wanted to follow that with the second question. If the rematch had to be at 47, I know you said you want to be there again. Are you willing to do this rematch back at welterweight?
It's something I got to talk to my management about, but hopefully it's at 154.
How was this particular weight cut? Was it a very difficult one, or did you feel at ease with the weight cut?
I mean, it's always difficult, but, like I said, I don't make any excuses. The better man won tonight.
One last question. What about Terence surprised you the most? Was it his timing, his power? What surprised you?
Nothing really surprised me. He was just like I thought. It just my timing wasn't good today.
Questions for Errol Spence Jr.?
Hey, Errol, Keith Heideck from BoxingScene.com. What do you attribute your timing not being there to? Did you feel off physically or anything, or what was wrong in the fight?
Yeah, I felt a little off physically, but most times I get through it. So, I thought it was going to be just like the other times, but I couldn't kick it up a notch.
Errol, Sam Gordon here with the Las Vegas Review-Journal. How would you contextualize or describe Terence's power, and when did you really get a feel for it for the first time tonight?
I got a feel for his power, probably like first, second round. He's a strong dude, but, everybody at this top level have some type of power. But I think because my time was out, he was catching me in between shots.
Errol, Kevin Iole from Yahoo Sports. My question would be, your face was swelling up really badly. Were you having difficulty seeing as the fight progressed?
No, I wasn't having difficulty seeing it at all.
I'm sorry?
I said no, I didn't have difficulty seeing it at all.
Okay. And then lastly, did you feel when the fight started, did you feel good, or did you feel like it was, maybe one of those nights?
I felt cool. I thought, I could definitely do enough to win the fight, but I felt good. And like I said, I'm not here to make any excuses. I'm a grown man. I decided to agree to the weight and get down to it, and that's what I did. So, take no excuses. Hats off to the champion tonight.
Errol, straight back. Dan Raphael from Big Fight Weekend. I wanted to know, I know it's only a few minutes removed from the end of the fight. How do you think you're going to deal with this going forward, tomorrow, next week? Are you the kind of guy that's going to just bad night, shake it off, and all is good, or are you going to, stew over this for a while and it's going to hurt bad?
Nah, I'm not going to stew over it at all. I did what I was supposed to do, regardless of the outcome or anything like that. Like I said, I was going to do something, and I promised everybody I was going to do it. So I did it as a man. I stood up on my word, so I'm definitely not going to sulk over this. I'm going to get right back and get to it, hopefully at 154 pounds.
And Errol, even though, we know how big of a fight this was, everybody talked about the historical significance of this fight all through the build-up, all for the last several years as we waited for it to happen. I wonder, it's happened. You go on the losing side of this one. Does it at least give you some solace to know that you gave the boxing public something that they have wanted for so long, even though obviously it didn't go your way?
Definitely. It was exciting, the whole build up to it and leading up to it too. So it's something that, I wouldn't change for nothing. And I'm definitely open to the rematch, and hopefully it'll be at 154 pounds.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Morgan Campbell from the New York Times. This question is for Derek or for Errol. Once Bud won a couple rounds and he started to get the momentum, what types of tactical adjustments did you guys want to be able to make?
So just really kind of like do our best to take away what he was doing instead of kind of standing in front of him. But I think that Errol, like you can notice, well, I can notice his time was off really bad, and he was standing in front of him. So I think that that's kind of was the thing. It was just the timing. Reaction time was a little slower. But it's okay. It's like life, and you come back, you deal with it, and you get better.
Hi, Errol. Dan Matthews from the Daily Mail. I just wondered what you saw in the performance tonight that gives you confidence that in a rematch at 154 pounds that the result would be any different.
Who are you talking to?
Errol.
Say it again.
I just wondered what aspects of the performance tonight give you confidence that you could change the result even at 154.
Because I know I'm a lot better than what I showed tonight, and I know that a lot of things was off with me, and even though Terence Crawford did what he was supposed to, he was sharp and he was on point, and he made sure he was 100% ready in this fight.
Andrew Jones, ESPN and Anscape. First for Errol, I want to ask you, what did Derek James say to you in terms of supporting you after the fight and how loyal he's been to you? And is this officially your last fight at 147 in your mind?
Yeah, in my mind, it's my last fight at 147 pounds. So, hopefully the next one be at 154. But Derek, just told me that, keep my head up. I was off and, trying to console me like he's supposed to.
And Derek, just in terms of you consoling him and how you feel about this, what's been going to be your process over the next few days to be able to move on and then just go back to the drawing board on it?
Well, I think that in watching it, I had time to understand what was going on. From the first, second round, I kind of saw what was happening, and you kind of like understand, okay, maybe eventually he can catch one with a good shot, maybe he can recover, but it didn't work that way, and it's okay. I mean, it's life. Unfortunate. This is what happens in big-time boxing. Somebody was going to have to be in this situation. Unfortunately, it was us, and we'll got to move on. I mean, I had to fly to London tomorrow, so I'm gonna hold on this for a long time. May not ever get over it till after we revenge it, but it's just what it is. I mean, it's life, and you just got to keep it moving. You got to deal with it, embrace it, and move on.
Got two more questions for Errol Spence Jr. Two more.
Any more guys? Any questions, guys? Anybody else up here? We got the floor.
Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV. This question is for Derek James first. Coach Derek, I want to ask you, we haven't seen Errol take as much punishment as he did tonight. Was there ever a point where you thought about stepping in and stopping the bout?
I just wanted to make sure he was okay, right? I saw him get hit with the big shots, but I think that you can see, for me, I see his legs was a little off, but I really wasn't. But then you think about it, the doctor's right there with me, and we're talking back and forth. And they're looking at him, and I'm looking at the doctors, and we're talking. So it's like, Not really, but you just never know.
And Errol, we saw you go down a couple of times. When you felt Terence's power, particularly in the second knockdown, when you got up, what was going through your mind at that time?
Shit, just fight back. I mean, what you mean was going through my mind at the time? It's a boxing match, so, you know, I was trying to block the shots he was throwing and come back with shots, but, I mean, nothing really was going through my mind. It was just, you know, the same stuff.
Last question.
Move the mic. Yep.
Cameron Buford, LA News Observer. Errol Spence, would you talk to us about what Terence Crawford said to you after the fight?
I usually ask me that. But he just said, good fight, you know, much respect, and that's about it.
All right, we will allow Errol Spence Jr. to depart. And you know what? Tonight we saw the two best welterweights on the planet colliding. And I give respect to both men because they went ahead and put it all on the line. A round of applause to both Terence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for providing us an unbelievable night of boxing here in Las Vegas. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now I want to bring up, he is the first male boxer to be undisputed champion in 2 divisions. For the first time in the 4-belt era, there is an undisputed welterweight champion of the world. This man, 40 wins, no losses. He remains undefeated here tonight. The best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, from Omaha, Nebraska, we present to you Terence Bud Crawford, ladies and gentlemen. Terence, as we are literally moments removed from your mesmerizing performance, what does this mean for you? I mean, you're the first male boxer, you made history, undisputed in not 1 but 2 divisions.
Like I said before, you know, this meant everything to me. I wanted to give honor to God for blessing me to be here, to be able to perform in front of each and every one of y'all. And that's pretty much it. I wanted to thank Errol Spence and his team for me and him coming together and getting this fight underway. This is a fight that everybody wanted to see. The whole world was talking about it, and we put on a great show.
All right, at this time, I'm going to turn it over to questions for Terence Bud Crawford. If you have questions, raise your hand.
Terence, Andreas here from the Sporting News. Just talked to Errol. He said he hopes to get the rematch, and he would like to have the rematch at 154 pounds. Are you interested in moving up in weight for the rematch, or does it have to be at 47?
It definitely don't have to be at 47. Like I said, you know, I'm in a hurt business. 47 was kind of hard for me, too. I was already talking about moving up in weight and challenging Charlo. So 54 wouldn't be outreach of anything.
Want to follow up with, how did you pull off getting Eminem to walk you out tonight?
I don't know. It was just, I throw a rock in a haystack, and he replied, and, you know, I told him to pull up, and he was like, I'm there. Are you one of my favorite fighters? And, you know, that showed, you know, a lot of support for me, and that showed what level I'm at in the boxing world.
Last question. Naoya Inoue was considered the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world after his performance on Tuesday. Do you think you definitively put a stamp on you as the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world after this performance?
Without a doubt. Like I told everybody once before, the winner out of this fight was going to be #1 pound-for-pound, hands down. You got Errol Spence was ranked #4 in the pound-for-pound, and you got Terence Crawford that was ranked #1. So you got 2 fighters that's in the top 5 pound-for-pound ratings. How can they not be number one pound for pound.
Terence, Keith Heidick from BoxingScene.com. Congratulations on a great performance. Was it even easier than you expected it to be once you were in there?
Never. Like I said, we trained so hard in training camp that it may look easy in the ring, but these fights is never easy. These fights is very extremely hard because we put our body through the most in training camp, and I work my ass off to get to where I'm at today to perform in front of each and every one of y'all. I even did things that was different this fight. You know, we did a pre-camp, came out to Vegas, stayed for a month, you know, so I've been working for a long time for just this one moment, so it's never easy.
At which point in the fight did you realize that he wasn't going to be able to do anything with you tonight?
Well, the first round, I felt as if I had the speed and power. I felt, you know, his power, and I felt as if I was the stronger fighter. And, yeah, that's pretty much was it.
Andrew Jones, ESPN, Anscape. Terrence and your team, congratulations on a special night. Roy Jones Jr. told me yesterday that if you won this fight, that you'll be up there as one of the all-time best pound for pound. You talked about Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather era, now your era. Where do you rank yourself all-time, pound for pound, after tonight?
Well, I'm up there. You know what I mean? Like, I always want to pay homage to the fighters that came before me, you know, because without them, there'd be no me. Wherever they want to put me, you know, I'm up there, you know. It ain't my job to put me where I want to be. It's your job to put me where I belong.
And who came up with the fishnet idea to walk out and what you told your mom when you were celebrating with her in the ring and giving her a birthday present that you wanted her to give her?
No, that's all So Cold. Like I said, So Cold, everything. He came up with the idea. He said, man, I got you, bro. He designed my last outfit. And I told him, I said, man, that was one of the coldest outfits that I had. And he said, wait till you see this one. I said, oh, all right. And, you know, his creativeness, you know, brought to life along with Everlast. And then you got what you got.
Terence, Kevin Iole from Yahoo Sports. Congratulations on the brilliant performance. I wonder, when you were with Top Rank, there were many years there would be fights on Fox or Showtime, and they would list top welterweights. I guess it was more Fox. They would list top welterweights, and you weren't even on there a lot of the time, and a lot of fans would get upset about that. Do you feel like now when you look back, like, do you feel some sense of vindication that people who overlooked you for so long now, you're at the top of the heap and there's no doubt?
Well, I've been telling each and every one of y'all for years. A lot of y'all over here looking sad. Ellie, you looking like a retarded-ass dude over there because you was going against me. You know what I mean? But all in all, you know, I get to say I told y'all because I've been asking for these fights for years. And y'all been saying, oh, he's too small. He's going to get this. He's going to get broken. And each and every time that I step up, I proved y'all wrong. Each time. So, you know what I mean? Write some great stories about Terence Crawford. Don't hate on him. Don't say nothing negative. Just give me my props.
The other question I wanted to ask, if you could comment about your trainer and the job he did. And Bomac, if you could make a comment about what it feels like for you to win a fight at this level against a guy who is highly respected like Derek James.
Well, I just look at it like this, man. I just look at all the training that we put in, all the months that we put in, and I wasn't never worried. And as far as going up against Derek James, it's an honor. It's an honor. He's it was last year or year before last trainer of the year, and you know, they never really gave us our props. You know, the writers, the reporters, all the websites. So. I mean, I'm just glad. You know, it hasn't sunk in yet, but it will here pretty soon. To me, I just look at it like it's another day, you know. And you also got to give props out to the whole team. You got Saul Dieguez right here. You got Red Spike. Come on, up here, Red. You got Bernie the boxer. You even got Steve So-Called Nelson. You know what I'm saying? He helps out a lot. You know, sometimes he see what we don't see. You got Chet. Chet, raise your hand. Chet, the strength and condition coach. Where Ashley at? There go Ashley right there. She's another strength and condition coach. We got chefs. We got dietitians. We got everything. It's a team effort. It ain't all about me getting my flowers. If you're going to give me my flowers, you're going to give the whole team the flowers.
Terence, Colin McGuigan for IFL TV. When I've interviewed you before, you've spoke about the moment in your career that you thought was the best, and that was against Ricky Burns. Does tonight eclipse that moment?
No, not at all. Like I said once before, I don't think there ever going to be a moment to actually make me feel the way I felt when I was in Scotland that day, because that was my whole dream. You know, I was filled with so much excitement to go all the way over to Scotland. Me, the little bit of family that I had, my team, and to come back a world champion, something that I dreamed of all my life as a kid. My dreams came true that one night. And this is definitely up there because this is a fight that's been talked about for many years. This is a fight that when I walk in the store, my kids watching YouTube, everybody asks me, when you fighting Spence? When you fighting Spence? Dad, this dude said you scared of Spence. So me always having to hear this guy's name is like a breath of fresh air that I get to breathe because we finally done it, and now it's done and over with.
Terence, straight back here, all the way in the back. Dan Raphael from Big Fight Weekend. Congratulations, incredible performance from you tonight. My question for you is, you won so easily, and he says he wants the rematch. How do you go about getting yourself up once again to take on a guy you just completely destroyed?
Well, one thing about me, I don't take no fighter lightly. So I'm always up for each and every one of the fighters that I'm facing. And y'all know that from the past of my performances and how I come in the ring 110% prepared every time I step foot in the ring.
And just one other question for you. Once you get past Errol, you know, once that chapter is closed, if you have the rematch, have you even allowed yourself a moment to think at any time, like what else is out there for you? Is it a championship at 54, a specific fighter, perhaps middleweight someday? What other sort of goals do you have besides what you've done so much already?
I don't know. In 2 months, I'll be 36 years old. I've been boxing since I was 7 years old. I've been doing sports all my life since I was 7. You know, I don't know. I got to sit down with my team and talk about the future.
All right, so now we have a very special presentation to award Terence Bud Crawford, the undisputed welterweight champion of the world for the first time in the 4-belt era. We have the legendary Ring Magazine Championship to be presented to Terence Bud Crawford of Omaha, Nebraska.
Yes, sir.
Terence, you know, when you see that, the lineage, and now it belongs to you.
I love it. I love it. To be honest, I wish they would have kept it original. But it is what it is. You know, I'm the number one fighter in the division.
They want to see it.
And it's stamped right here. So for all you guys that doubted me, for all you guys that said I was too small, I was actually too strong. and now everybody, you know what I mean, they get to witness greatness, like I said before, and it's the Terence Crawford era.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to Terence Bud Crawford, Brian Bomack McIntyre, and the entire Crawford team. Congratulations, guys. All the best, and thank you very much to all the media for covering Spence Crawford Fight Week, and thank you so much for joining us here in Las Vegas. What a historic night, as Terence Bud Crawford is the undisputed welterweight champion of the world for the first time in the four-belt era, the first male boxer to be undisputed in 2 divisions. Terence Bud Crawford remaining undefeated here tonight in Las Vegas. Congratulations to Terence Crawford, and thank you to the media for joining us. Good night, everybody.